Right
Oh
there.
no, that's a picture. I told you I got it. Hold on. Let's go. Let's
What
go.
a mad random thing to have pop up.
I told you while you were fixing
The
everything.
best is you should do that for
I
everybody.
had your what just
Whoops.
hey, could you adjust this real quick? Click.
Yeah.
Just get a nice clean shot of their ass.
Take a fucking awesome picture of people like when they don't know about it and then show them at a time they didn't think. Like if you had a picture of me at work but it was on your fridge and I'm just like, wow, this is random as fuck. I didn't know I meant that much to this motherfucker.
Oh,
I made it to the fridge.
Brittany's known about that for a while. She's concerned, but she's not actually going to do anything about it, so that's good.
He ain't even got pictures of his kids up there.
Nope.
Jay Blendowski.
Big-headed Jew kids.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, man, I appreciate you coming and doing all this shit. I mean,
I love it.
I know you wanted a candid banter, but I do want to take the time and thank you. Everybody's been super supportive. It's fucking crazy. I've never actually had a group of friends, at least in sales or, in any of that aspect, that's just like, all right, let's all fucking emotional support and funny and...
Okay, let's do it. You put a microphone in front of somebody. Fun things can happen.
Yeah, if your name's Jay Blendowski, you might just suck it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the microphone.
Yes, the microphone. That's what I meant. What I meant. I don't know, man.
I would recommend maybe a nice adjustment in here would be a heater.
I have a baseboard heaters.
It's fucking April, dog. It should not be off.
What do you mean? It's fucking springtime.
Yeah, but we're sitting on concrete.
We are sitting on a really nice rug that my mom gave me. Thank you.
I love the rug. Underneath the rug
is concrete, yes.
Nothing but
and at the end of the day,
slab,
we are in a garage.
Mm-hmm. I don't have any problem with garages.
I bet you don't. Yeah. Okay. Is this your fucking Jewish goodbye way of telling me you want me to turn the heater on?
Could you turn the heater on?
Yeah. Okay.
Jesus Christ.
What's a good degree for you, mister? I'm gonna turn it to, I don't know, 65?
All this money you're making and you're just keeping it buried? What? Where is it? Won't turn the heat on and such.
No.
Daddy always taught me not to pay the bills.
No, I'm just kidding. My credit score's phenomenal.
Do you remember what a red line means?
A red line?
Yeah.
What, when we're too fucking loud? I imagine that's gonna happen a lot. So what happens if we redline and I don't realize it? Is that something post-production?
Just redline.
Don't be like, Wah! You know what I mean?
Yeah, it'll be fun. It doesn't really. I mean, you just in a program like what you have, I'm sure they can just
A way for you to
you
tone it down a bit.
Adjust the gate afterwards, I think.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I gotta tell you, man, I know nothing about computers. I built this whole PC from a buddy of mine in Arkansas FaceTiming me. I'm not even kidding. My boy Ryan in Arkansas literally FaceTimed me for 3.5 hours during COVID lockdown, and I had all these parts and like step by step, screw by screw. He taught me how to build this thing, and I did a lot of subpar gaming on this computer before I decided to turn it into a podcast.
That paired with your GMC and suburban neighborhood here makes you the whitest fella, and that makes that the whitest sentence I've heard all month.
What's that?
How you built your
I built a
PC
computer
over the fucking internet with some dude who you've never met.
But I know him very well. Very well. Yeah.
I mean, you do have a post.
I mean, there's full frontals. I mean, there's rear front. I mean, there's we've played a lot of video games together. Yeah. You got it. You in a hurry?
That was work related.
Oh, that's what you get for wearing the fucking jacket in here, dude.
You're not wrong.
Just saying.
It'd be super inappropriate if I worked at like Target or something, you know?
Would it?
Like, where'd that guy get that jacket? He's got no business with it.
That's another thing I had to ask. Like, how PC do I have to be? Like, do I just have to state before every episode that my viewpoints and things said on this podcast do not reflect? You know what I mean?
Not the reflections of my guests.
Or not the reflections of my guests or people that I'm still currently employed to.
Yeah, that's probably good. Absolutely, that would make sense. Well, I mean, you're not representing it at all, but it blatantly says it on one of your guest jackets. So either you need a better security guard before they get
Or you're going to be doing a lot of editing with blur motion.
Actually, did I tell you they have that?
Anytime we say it, we just have to be like, beep.
Yeah, you can just blurt it, blah, blah, blah.
Burble blobbing?
God damn it, I can't do this fucking thing. I do this with customers, by the way. Be like, all right, so we're going to move along with that. I used to be in a... Okay, so here's a really funny anecdote.
Go on.
Starting in this particular responsibility last year, my parents and my wife and me, like, we got the family chat going, and my dad's retired. Nobody respects time frame, boundaries, text message limitations.
They're all just moving at their own pace.
All the time.
Yep.
There is nothing holding. God bless them. You know?
Yeah.
When I'm their age, I really hope that I have as much free, time where, like, I don't feel obligated to work. Motherfucker, I'd retire tomorrow if I could. People are like, oh, you're going to want to get a job. No. I'm not. I will go to the park, feed ducks.
I will do a lot for my family and my kids, and working is one of those. But once I know they're all set for an indefinite period of time, fuck working, dude. Like,
Absolutely.
I'd much rather not if I could.
It's
But
100% bullshit.
you suck the daily dick. So
But in any event,
my grandfather used to say, you eat a mile of shit so that you can give them 5 inches of caviar. So you just...
that's a lot of shit.
I know. I think that's below average for you on a Tuesday, is it not?
I do eat a lot of shit.
You do.
Yeah.
You do. Thank God it's Wednesday.
TGIW. W is a fun letter to say in French.
Go on.
Double.
Double.
Because in France, it's double V.
And not a W.
Correct.
Weird.
Fucking Puritans.
Riveting.
They really fucked
Thanks.
us on that one. So for some reason,
5 minutes in, we're reaching for content.
anytime somebody goes over, takes a boat over onto this side of the world, some shit gets drastically changed.
Yeah.
But what we left behind wasn't great either. One such example, Hitler. There's no American Hitler,
Not yet. Not that we know. I'm sure at the time of Hitler, everybody in Germany wasn't like, "That's going to be the next Hitler." I tell you, they're not thinking this guy up here is going to be mass genociding people, and it just started happening around them, and a lot of people didn't know. Believe it or not.
What was your journey to sobriety like?
What was my journey to sobriety like?
Wait, let me finish my story first.
How the fuck do you just go
I
from?
was sitting in my office, and all of a sudden, a fucking text message, like, cavalcade, came running through my phone, then my watch. My phone, then my watch.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm in the middle of, like, discussing warranties with people.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, excuse me a moment. I took the phone, threw it on the floor, and then I ripped my watch off. But hold on, that's not new behavior. When I used to work with my wife at Verizon, and I was with the customer,
Sure.
and I had that fucking watch, I would take it and over my head toss it against the wall. I don't even know why I get them. I fucking hate.
Did you think you had like a Nokia brick phone or something, or
No,
like it was just fuck it?
Just whatever happens.
Close to $1,000, launch it over my shoulder.
I have.
It's very unJulie like
It's
of you.
the one gift my kids have given me is a small amount of patience. So now I can kind of take a breath between the things I feel and the things I do. But anyways.
Okay. That was a lot of random thoughts in a row. Are you okay? Like just on the inside.
Things are fine.
Okay, good.
Things are going all
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. Mm.
Got a movie coming out.
You do?
May 28th. Jump up in there and see it. It's live on YouTube. May 28th at 9 o'clock in the morning. Very excited about it. It is a tastefully done pornographic remake of Titanic. So, appreciate you.
What are you calling it?
Titanic. I go for the low-hanging fruit.
Yeah.
I did have to take a moment to think about it, though.
I appreciate you.
But there will be a space between Titan and Dick, so it'll just be Titan Dick. But that's a Titanic.
I mean, you can call it "My dick fell off the door and froze to death," and the bitch wouldn't move over, but she took the dick.
There is no room for that in a title.
I mean,
Have you ever been to the movies? It's like 2 words. Like the vow. You know?
The pianist.
That's all you get. Yeah. It's it.
Milo and Otis.
Hunting.
The hunting?
Yeah, or good hunting.
Good will hunting?
Good.
I mean, this is a good movie and it's got more than 2 fucking syllables in it. Or 3 or 4.
I think you can do 3.
Yeah.
Brokeback Mountain. All right.
When interviews go unscripted.
Yeah.
What was your journey to sobriety like?
Everybody's heard my journey already.
Have they? I mean, obviously the people closest to us have heard it.
I used to get fucked up, and now I don't.
That is a pretty close story to mine. I like drugs so much that you could practically see the mushroom cloud of destruction from space. Yeah. In my earlier rant video that you'll probably eventually see, I go off to say I was just like a little junkie ninja. Like I would become somebody's friend. Like clearly you and I got real close over the span of a year. Like from sitting next to each other in the office to fucking doing this together. Obviously I can make friends pretty easily, and I use that like salesman-y, like verbal jujitsu, and worked my way into several people's lives, fucked them over, stole shit, because I was just a junkie fuck.
Con artist,
I mean, the craziest part is there is like a piece of me that really enjoyed their company. I'm like, hey, if I'm gonna fuck somebody over, I'm gonna do it. Somebody I like hanging out with, and
we tend to hurt the ones closest.
Sure. And then I pretty much had my what they refer to as a spiritual awakening in a jail cell on a boat in Burlington County, and I was like, yeah, this gots to stop. And it stopped for a little bit, and then it didn't, and then it stopped for a little bit, and then it didn't. But it was like the click.
That's kind of like why they say that sometimes, recovery is like you can't just judge it based on the failures. You judge it on the successes. There was obviously you've been to meetings because
you can't not fuck up in that way, and
you can't
and not know what the 12 steps is.
You can't have a galactic meltdown.
No, like
in humanity, and then just be like, you know what, this wasn't for me. It was a good try. I had a good run. Shit goes wrong before you make your spiritual awakening. It's a little bit more like
fuck yeah, dude.
After Taco Bell.
It's like you have to demolition an entire area to build something beautiful. It's fucking or you could have just left it alone and it would still been beautiful, but at the same time what you get is a creation of several makings, you know what I mean? Like I was talking to my dad and we had gotten into a really deep conversation. There was a family issue and we were talking. And he's like, I regret so much of blah, 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 and this, that, and the third. And I just told him, if you'd have done one thing any differently, 5 minutes could have altered my life. You know what I mean? I maybe wouldn't have met Brittany. I wouldn't have had Evie and had the opportunity to raise Maddie. And I wouldn't have gotten into sales. Yeah, sure, I probably would have left a lot of scorched earth unscorched, but I don't regret a single fucking thing. And I'm not,
That's sliding doors,
Yeah. I don't regret a single thing, man. Of course, I regret actions and stuff like that, but like everything has led me to this point. Everybody who I've come into contact with, who I've hurt, I've either put efforts forward to make them know that it wasn't in vain, or I've offered solutions. Like I did what most addicts do when they first got clean. I did a lot of premature amends and all that shit, and most of those didn't go well. I had to really rebuild myself completely before. Like if there's probably still like a good 20, 30 people I gotta find. I got a dude's baseball cards from like 10 years ago. Stole it from his house. I was living at his house while he was at college, and his brother and his brother's wife and I were all living under the same roof. And I was fiending, dude. I was just like anything of value, like anything whatsoever. Went into the shit and took a bunch of baseball cards. I literally have them in the back seat of my truck right now if I forever, some reason, come across them. I never pawned them. That's a weird little factoid that... Yeah, they say mad on them. Yeah.
Well, that's a nice guy thing to do.
I guess. I probably shouldn't have stolen them in the first place. You know what I mean? I probably shouldn't have been a piece of shit in the... Oh, yeah. If you're going to be a piece of shit, at least, have an opportunity to not, I guess. Take the opportunity.
Absolutely.
Sure.
I concur.
Indubitably. craziest fucking hard drug story now. Go. You got one that you pitch at every party, I'm sure. Everybody.
There's
cop related. We'll narrow it down a bit.
cop related.
Cop related. Yep, we'll narrow it down a bit.
When I was doing something wrong, or when I was doing something right.
You pick. Do both. Fuck it. Do like a past present.
All right. So there was. They're both. They're all of them are.
Well, yeah, they've all happened.
They've all have happened.
Yeah.
They're happening still, but they used to happen also.
They used to happen concurrently.
It's super funny. All right. I was. Weirdest fucking not doing anything.
Just the story that comes to mind. Drugs, cops, war stories, if you will. Just throw them out there. Fuck it.
So I got sideswiped by this Latina woman. I was driving my first car. It was an Infiniti, and I fucking loved it.
Mm-hmm.
And at the time, what's the statute of limitations on like shit like that? Like I feel like this was some time ago, but
Violent stuff I'm not sure of. I think anything theft related is like 5-7 years. Don't quote me on that because I'm often wrong.
Right, so,
I am often wrong. That's why I'm always leery about mentioning names and shit because I still know a lot of people from my past. So I don't got groups of people and names and certain locations. I don't give specifics on anymore.
Shit up and make it hurt again anyways.
Sure.
So I got sideswiped in a fucking it was a four-way.
Mm-hmm.
And I had the right of way coming off of a highway,
mm-hmm.
and I'm driving through the intersection because that's what happens when the light's green. And she fucking plowed me out of nowhere. Now it hit me so hard that it spun me more than 360 degrees. I think I would. So if I started facing this way.
Mm-hmm.
I went around and then faced almost where I was coming from.
What's that, a 720?
Yeah.
It's not quite a 900?
I don't know. All right. So
Finance. I'm not a numbers guy.
I'm not a numbers guy. All right. So fucking... But the fucked up part was, the first thing that I thought about was, what do I have in the fucking car? Because obviously... I couldn't drive away.
Yeah.
She wasn't going anywhere.
Nope.
So I got out of the car and I was like, are you okay? And she was like, yes, I'm all right. In like broken English. So I ran back to my car and I had like empty fucking rum bottles in the back seat and like little caps with fucking, cotton balls and shit.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, woo! Gotta get rid of this motherfucker. So the cops come and they were looking, they smelled my breath. Like I wasn't drunk or anything.
Right.
I actually was probably
one of the few times you weren't actively riding dirty.
Yeah. It was the in-between part.
Yep.
And so that was the one.
How few and far between they were. It was the in-between part.
If I wasn't doing it,
yeah, I was either on my way or coming down and being all pissed off.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then the craziest blowout drug cop related story. Fuck, that's a wheeler. I'm not prepared to spin right now.
All right. I had an experience with Evesham police. And anybody who grew up in Burlington County knows there's like 2 or 3 Burlington County towns you want to not fuck up in, and my hometown is one of those. And so I mean, even as a kid, I fucking steal people's chromies. Remember that shit when you were younger and all that stuff. So little stuff like that, fucking with people's cars, hood shit. Well, just suburban kid shit. Like we're on the border of mostly horse farms and whatnot. There is a fairly bougie side of Marlton. And it's, yonder, but it we had nothing to do out this way, so we just get in fucking trouble. That's all there was to do. And then I discovered weed and drinking and partying and all that stuff, and our partying got different and sometimes more destructive, and the cops over the years just got to know me. Like, they know me by, like, first, middle, last name, favorite color, dick size, shoe size, whatever. They know me very well by now. So anytime I get pulled over in this town and it's somebody who's been on the force for, a decent time, I would assume, if they're a rookie, and I haven't been on paper in a while, so if you're their rookie, they probably don't know me. So anyway, this is like heat of active crazy shit. I'm coming home from a party. I actually put a spin on it in one of my comedy bits. Like, so I got pulled over 4 miles away from my house, which is crazy because I only live 3 blocks away from the party and blah, you know what I mean? And this part of it is true. I embellish a lot in my comedy, but a lot of it is based off of true stories. This part is true. I pull up, I'm fucked up, by the way. I'm coming from a party. I'm on my way to go to 7-Eleven to go home because I'm fucking shit faced, and that's one. I'm shit faced. Two, we smoked a shit ton of weed when we were at the party, so I stank like there. And I'm just running through cigarettes. There wasn't a point at all where I knocked my headphone thing out. Is that better? It fucked me up. Oh no, the volume went down. How about stupid am I? I told you, man, I'm useless with this. So anyway, I'm coming back from the party. Get pulled over. I'm selling a lot of drugs at the time. I'm probably 19, 20 or whatever the case may be. I have a whole cigarette pack of Xanax bars, probably like 20 of them. Totem poles.
Yeah, I know. We used to call them fucking pixie sticks.
Yeah. Okay.
Because they're sticks. They're
No. Anybody who's in my friend circle knows exactly what they are. So anyway, yes, exactly. So
that wasn't my thing though. Like, just to specify as like a side, I was not a benzo fan.
See, me, I was just nasally fixated. So anything you could put into powder form and launch right up the cranial cavity, just and that's. Oh, dude, hold on. Let me get back to the story, and then we'll talk. We're gonna get way sidetracked.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm getting pulled over. I have all these Xanax. Maybe 20 is too many, but more than somebody should be ingesting to discard of for the police. Let's call them 10. So I'm like, fuck. So I slumped down. I grabbed the cigarette pack. I pop these bitches just straight into my mouth, chew them up as best I can, and Xanax are very, they taste like shit, first of all, and they're very chalky.
Why would you chew them?
Because I wanted to get them down as quickly as I could. I had nothing to drink, so my thought was pixie stick it and just fucking, just try it as best I could. And anyway, so the cop takes his sweet ass time. I'm chewing. I'm like, all right, I get the first swallow down. I'm good. I can probably compose a sentence with all this powder in my mouth now. Cool. Roll down the window, and now mind you, I'm shit-faced. It smells like weed in the car. That was the last of the drugs, so now I know I'm in the clear, but now I have a ticking time bomb before I have to throw up. That's way too many Xanax, even for an active user. Like 10, 15 at a time is way too many. It's a risk, even for a high-tolerance person. So I'm just playing the, how nice can I be to this cop before I die? So... And it's a cop I recognize. I'm not going to say his name because I don't know if he's still active on police department, but he's a nice guy. Pulls over, he goes, license and registration, Dustin. Like, he literally says my name. He's like, all right, let me see it. And I hand him my shit. He goes, where are you? He said, Dust, I can't lie to you, man. It smells like weed in this car. And I said, I don't know why, man. You know what? There was a dead skunk a little while back. Maybe that was it. He's like, you're slurring your words. Are you drunk? I'm like, nah, dude. Nah, dude. And mind you, so
outraged at the accusation.
So I was like, I forget what sentence I was in the middle of, and it was him, it was me answering him about my drinking, and I just went, you know what I mean? And literally, and I went, I swear to God, and this cop, and now mind you, I want to set a visual for you now. I want you to imagine I'm just, bah! And it's a lingering cloud of
the
powder.
Lights are going behind
while the people,
so
it's bright. It's no, they're totem poles. They were white, so it was just this white chalky cloud of discharge just.
The lights were red.
The cop's face was, and I describe it on stage as if he were to walk into his fucking house and I'm dunking my balls in his wife's mouth. Same face. He's like, what the fuck was that? And like, he thinks I just coughed malaria on his fucking latest stop of the night. He thinks I just coughed malaria onto.
Been like anthrax.
Oh no! I answered in the name of erectile dysfunction. I went, I swear to God, that's never happened to me before, ever. Long story short, I had nothing on me. I did the spiel, and he let me go. But I fucking said fuck 7-Eleven. I went right home. I fucking threw up, and I was still pretty fucked up because by the time I got home, it was like 25 minutes. Most of them were starting to kick in, but yeah. But that was one of my favorite cop stories for sure, and I have many others. What I gotta ask, why do you carry that fucking fidget thing with you everywhere?
Yeah.
Is that for your sanity or other people's safety?
So here's the thing about me is I would smoke all day long. I wouldn't stop.
I do smoke all day long.
The only time that it doesn't hit me to want to smoke is like when I'm doing something that I'm super involved in. So like if I'm idle, I need something to take like the fucking pins out of my body.
Yeah.
And just like do it here, because then I can focus.
Isn't that crazy, man? Fucking cigarettes have such a big hold, and we've quit more than most people.
I've quit a lot of things, probably more than most people have even thought about trying.
Yeah. I've like...
Never gave up on breathing, though.
Attaboy.
Yeah.
I wish I could quit
They
smoking.
said I should.
I've been trying, like, me and Greg said we were going to quit at the same time. That we're both such pieces of shit. He's like, oh, I think I started off. I'm not going to lie. I'm the bigger piece of shit. I was like, I have half a pack in my center console. I'm going to run this out. And he's like, oh, no, I need a cigarette. And I'm giving him half of my pack. And then he goes and buys one because he's fiending out. And then it's just and now we're not even, it's like an unspoken thing. Like, hey, weren't we going to quit? And we're like, yeah, let's not talk about it. Let's not talk about it.
Is like, and this is just rationalization. Is like, it's by a long shot not the worst thing I've ever done.
Yeah.
But also, it does bring me a good amount of sanity. So if I can cut that shit down, then it's with this. That actually helps me to focus more on the boring, retarded shit.
Interesting.
Not retarded in a bad, derogatory way, just not good.
Yeah.
You understand?
Sure. I mean, you're editing this shit, so you can do whatever you want. All right, we'll be right back. Let's go, honey. This is why I started a podcast, just to bring people in for various porn events.
Why is there always men?
Actually, it's a really fucking funny story too about that, because Susie, who's coming over to do the interview, and her friend Mike, when I had originally like got back in touch with her, it was to go to one of her stand-ups in AC on my birthday. I'll probably... What? In AC.
Which...
Atlantic City?
Oh, the Atlantic Sea.
Yes. Anyway. so mind you...
All right.
So they do these open mics at I don't know if they're open mics or scheduled shows, but they do these shows at the Kiss Kiss Club. And she sends me the link. She's like, hey, February 22nd is my birthday, so they're like, hey, we're having a show then. Will she come out? Wound up not being able to go, but I had asked Brittany, hey, do you want to go to this thing? And I send her the link that Susie sends me. Now, mind you, the Kiss Kiss Club is a strip club. And I just asked my wife in verbatim, hey, do you want to go see my friend Susie perform?
That's a tough one.
And she's like, motherfucker, it's a strip club. And I'm like, oh, no. Not that night. It's not.
Like that.
Not that night. I mean, there's poles around and alcohol, and I'm sure there's plenty of women, but no, not that night. So that's how I started this endeavor, getting her on the show. So now, and I was telling my wife, I was like, hey, that girl's coming onto the show. And she goes, I knew it. And I'm like, what? And she's like, you just started this podcast because you just want to see people's titties. And I bet you want to see Jason's titties too. What's he coming over for at noon? Oh. She'll break my balls too, man. She breaks my balls just as much as I break hers.
That's fun.
It is fun. She's a cool partner, man.
My wife thinks I'm a piece of shit.
I mean, is she wrong?
No, but she thinks. I don't.
Does she actively pursue those thoughts? Like, does she accept it and love you anyway?
Yeah.
Like, this is our piece of shit. Like, if we're gonna have a piece of shit on the team, like, this is the one I pick.
I think here's the best way that I could say. I know she loves me, but it's a close tie as far as like her mindset with tolerating me. Like, they almost are hand in hand. She tolerates me as much or maybe slightly less than she loves me. Because there's times when she'll, like, so
Proceed.
In the bathroom, she must have cleaned the shower or some shit. So just for context, she takes care of the kids at home.
Sure.
I go to work. I come back. There's a fucking mop and a bucket in the bathroom, which I just cleared. Walked right around. After passing by several baskets full of laundry, I piss. I go take my clothes off, hang my belt up, put my bathrobe on, whatever, go out, smoke, come back, lay down. She's like, do you not see anything? And I was like, I see everything. That's why I got the 2 pairs of glasses. And she's like, fucking, there's like all these things that need to be done. Do you think you could maybe lend a hand, like just go out on your own? You see them, you're walking around them. I was like, I don't pay attention to any of this shit. And she just fucking dead ass looked at me. And and then looked away, and I know she was weighing out whether it was worth it. She does that a bit. I don't know if that's something you've ever experienced. Like, she was kind of like, I could leave now, but it's dark and it's cold out. Maybe I'll just give him one more shot, you know?
I don't know. I like to think my wife mentally prepares for our conversations at this point. I'm probably not super easy to live with at all. I'm a career salesperson. I grew up Jewish, so I'm literally a black belt in arguing at this point.
Yeah.
So
it's not great.
And it's not, and I find that she puts up with a lot of my shit, but we have a lot of good communication.
That's good, yeah.
Half of my rides into work every morning are probably me calling and apologizing for how big of a piece of shit I was in the morning, and I try to help.
But you do it because you care.
I do, yes, I do. And but here's my wife's problem, and I've told her this before: is she wants help. No. It's nothing. It's nothing I would. Here's the thing. This is.
Look, if you're on YouTube,
this is nothing I have not said to her already. The problem is, she needs the help, but she wants the help done in a certain way. But we have not communicated on how that help should be done. So I start to help, and it's done wrong. So she fucking redoes everything I do in her way, making me feel like, well, there was literally no point in me helping you. And then we're in a conundrum. Then I just stop helping, and then I know I should help, and then it doesn't get done the way, you know what I mean? I've told her we need to work on that. Like, if you expect me to do something to help you, if you have a way you want it done, fuck it. Tell me how you want it done, and then don't fucking change it. Because if you train me well enough, I'll remember. But
I'm a loyal ass dog.
Same.
What you're saying.
Same.
The towels were wrong.
I have very few complaints.
Did you know that you could go 34 years through life and have absolutely no idea how to correctly fold the towels?
Yeah.
I was caught off guard. It just was not something I was anticipating. And then one day,
weird. Every woman I've ever been with has folded towels differently. Is there a right way? Is it a preference thing? Do you do the military thing where you roll it up in like a towel doobie and what is that? What do you
do that for the kids? I'll do that for the
roll up doobies or just roll their towels?
Just roll the towels for now.
Oh.
Not that they couldn't use weed every now and then, but towels.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
But no, nothing I say to people about my wife, she hasn't heard. If it's something she hasn't heard yet, I don't talk to about people. That's our business.
You don't put shit on blast.
No,
like that.
that's my fucking teammate right there.
Focusing on the communication is probably the best. There's this app I downloaded.
You downloaded an app for your relationship?
It's just a game, like something you can do. So like we have a date night now, because my son's 18 months old, my daughter's 4. There's no time for her to do anything or develop any independence, let alone for us to get on the same page.
Sure.
So, when we're together, it was like very frustrating, but I'm very big in communication. So we have a lot of relationship, non-funny, direct talk and so I was on TikTok or some shit and this app popped up. It was called Flamingo. And you can buy little packs, but basically it's just cards you ask each other questions on. But it was really interesting. I had to piss through the whole conversation yesterday, and I sat through it. I wanted to smoke. Like, it was probably close to maybe 45 minutes or an hour of us just going back and forth and talking about some, like relationship type shit. But yeah, bitches. What
Flamingo. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have ones for sex.
Oh.
Yeah.
What's that one called?
Sex.
It's called sex?
Yeah.
Sex flamingo or flamingo sex?
No, the pack. They have like a pack. So it's if you were to buy you could buy a pack of specific types of relationship questions. One such pack would be a sex.
It seems like something Brittany would love. She loves card games. We have Cards Against Humanity. She likes those virtual mystery games with her friends and stuff. Okay, look into that.
Yeah.
Look into that.
I like
yeah. See, I'm a huge advocate of personal mental health, and to the point where it'll start arguments in our house. We need to make sure we're taking care of ourselves in our area, in our space, and we need to go on dates. I love these kids, and I will give and take a bullet for them. But if you let them, they will sap the fucking energy right out of a relationship. they're supposed to be an addition, not a replacement. You know what I mean? They're supposed to be, you know, I mean, they're supposed to be what they're supposed to be. They're kids, and I didn't have them to enhance our marriage, because I wanted kids. But at the same time, like we told ourselves that like we're not gonna have kids at the risk of us. Like everything's got to be communicated. Everything's got to be honest. Like cut the shit. Because Brittany and I were, you know, off and on for a long time before we eventually just said, all right, fuck it, let's do this shit. So we had a lot of long talks before. And that was like better part of a decade ago. So it's all about communication. Enough of this fucking relationship shit. Let's talk more about drugs. So I think you were going to go into the quantity and capacities in which you suppositoried into your wiener from a funnel.
Dude, I'll tell you what. I had a really uncomfortable interaction with an intake nurse one time at a rehab.
Me too.
It was really uncomfortable. It was a detox.
Did you spread and cough for him like that?
It was like a week or 10 days. No.
Oh,
it wasn't
okay.
Physical. He had asked me to list out in as much detail as possible the drugs I had taken, when I took them, how frequently, and in what quantity. That was a fucking long time. An hour. Took me an hour to pinpoint beginning to that, up to that point. This was like 7 years ago, maybe. Where everything that I had done.
Mm-hmm.
And I was naming things he'd never heard of. He goes, there's nowhere on the sheet for that. Like, what is that? And I was like,
what is cheesing?
Yeah.
What is
Do you have feline objectivity in there anymore? Because that was really, really, really that was the first time in my life where I was ashamed. Like, really ashamed.
You had to list it all out?
Yeah. It wasn't that I felt bad or guilty or I felt like whatever. I was just ashamed because this professional who, like, with limited exception, that's probably their sole responsibility. It's to know these things, figure out their symptoms. How bad's this kid look? Do we have to give him fucking some shit now? Like, people go in there all the time on the verge of death. You know, there was a woman in there who was on benzos and oxys because her doctor prescribed it. The nicest 70-something-year-old woman I've ever met.
Just couldn't get off the shit.
She had to be there for 3 weeks because the doctor... So, this is fucking crazy. The doctor who prescribed her this shit for decades, right? Fucking says, you know, we've just been on it too long. We just kind of got to come off of it.
Yeah.
She had to see a second doctor because of how bad it was, and she just had no idea. She was just naive to this information that this was, you know, she suspected that there was a problem, but it was such gradually introduced, you know, like they would upscale such gradually, that, like, all of a sudden a second doctor had to send her to a detox where hardcore drug addicts were, like, trying to get better. And that was just, that's insane to me.
Hey, baby, come on in.
I'm not naked.
He is totally naked. It's my wife, Brittany.
Hello, Brittany. High five.
It's Jason.
Jason, nice to meet you.
What's up, baby?
You.
I didn't see it. You're on camera, bitch. We were just talking your praises. Yeah, and talking drug and rehab stories. Upstairs in our room. Okay. All right. I love you.
You too.
So you were saying this woman was all kinds of fucked up, older woman, all kinds of fucked up.
And I mean, that was heartbreaking. But that when I went to that facility was when I had this experience with this dude, and something in his face just changed. Like, you know when you say something so profoundly fucked to somebody who just woke up that morning with a prayer and then they met you? Yeah. Like, that's what happened.
That's the only thing they did wrong is they met you.
Yeah.
Yep. I have a lot.
I don't regret any of the things I did. But what I do regret is the excessivity, how excessively I used it, because my brain is fucked.
Dude,
fucked.
I have...
My memory is gone.
No, my memory is not gone. My memory is just fucked. Like, I can remember the dumbest things.
Yeah.
But, like, if you tell me, like, hey, we'll meet up tomorrow for coffee, I will probably forget that shit. I always tell people, remind me. I'm fucking so dumb.
All right, I'm gonna go home.
You're gonna go home?
Yeah, I gotta drive to Lancaster, and we're gonna go look at a dog.
All right. Go get yourself a dog. Well, we got 40 minutes of decent shit in there, buddy.
Yeah.
I hope you enjoy clipping that and making it as funny as possible.
It shouldn't be difficult.
No.
Hey, honestly, you don't even really necessarily need to clip it. There's not much editing, especially video-wise. The only thing I want to do is speed it up and listen to it to make sure that it doesn't sound completely fucked.
Sure. Well, it's about 40 minutes of us bullshitting.
If there's any points on there that you think you don't want, yeah, I can do that. But
I don't know. If it's just like blank space or choppy or whatever, I don't know. We'll talk about it.
Yeah.
You know what looks good and what doesn't. All right. Goodbye, everybody.